Good morning or good afternoon, good evening, wherever this broadcast finds you, and welcome to the T20 World Cup Master Analyzer episodes. Thanks very much for joining us, and also thanks to our sponsors, Launch Tea, AdzGuru, Ready Steady Go Kids and Ecoloom, as well as Papua New Guinea Cricket. I'm John Buchanan. I'll be the Master Analyzer for this T20 World Cup series. And I'm also joined by and supported by our Master Statistician, Mr. Krishna Tunga of allthatcricket.com. So for today's game, which is Papua New Guinea versus Scotland, let's go to a share screen and a quick review of the game. And also that will allow us to look at our change of momentum moments throughout the course of both innings. So Scotland winning the toss and electing to bat, which again is reasonably significant, meaning teams are now beginning to look at trying to post a score, realising that the wickets may in fact be harder to score on batting second. But as we progress through Scotland's innings, some of the change of momentum moments occurred early with Papua Maria bowling Kurtzer quite early with a lovely slower ball. That then was followed up by Munsey taking on Chad Soper and to be caught for 15. So by the end of the power play, Papua New Guinea had restricted Scotland to 2 for 37. However, this was the beginning of a very good partnership between Richie Berrington and Matt Cross. They were able to accelerate the scoring rate, and by the time that they reached the 10 over mark, the score had climbed to 2 for 67 with Berrington on 24, Cross 18. They continued that partnership, bringing up the 100 in the 13th over, and were really beginning to dominate that Papua New Guinea attack till Cross managed to slap Simon Attai to mid-wicket and was caught. So that brought the score at that point in time to 118 for 3. Berrington continued on, got some support from McLeod, and we see that McLeod departed the scene at 4 for 151, soon to be followed by Berrington. And this is where Papua New Guinea, again, a significant change of momentum here, brought Papua New Guinea right back into the game, because at 4 for 151 in the 19th over, a score of 180 was still well within reach of the Scottish team. However, wonderful bowling, good fielding by Papua New Guinea saw them restrict Scotland to 9 for 165. And when we look at the bowling figures, you'll see Papua Maria was the main wicket taker, and in fact 4 wickets fell in his last over, in the 20th over, and that was, as we saw, a really important turning point, change of momentum point for Papua New Guinea to give themselves a total that they could chase down. Maria was well supported by Chad Soper and Simon Attai. Unfortunately, again, right at the beginning of the innings, Nosena Pokana and Charles Amini were unable to really establish a foothold, given that the first 2 overs went for 22. But the bowling changes worked for Asad Valla, with Maria and Soper coming on and taking those 2 wickets in the early in the power play. So Papua New Guinea had it all in front of them, and an opportunity, 1, to chase down the total, and 2, if they have chased down that total, then it would necessarily help their net run rate. But unfortunately, it seemed that they weren't necessarily learning from their earlier outing against Oman, with Tony Ura again playing an angle bat to chop on for 2. Liga Sayaka showing some intention to get on with the game, but possibly a poor selection and certainly poor execution of the shot. And that really triggered then a mini collapse once more, with Charles Amini unfortunately being run out. Again, a real change of momentum point there, because both he and Vala were the two batsmen who established Papua New Guinea's innings in the first game. But Amini was run out, and soon after we saw Vala and then Atai return to the dressing room. So at the power play end, Papua New Guinea were in fact 5 for 35, an almost impossible position to retrieve the game from. And that continued with Sese Bao departing at 67. However, that brought together a very, very good partnership between Norman Vanua and Kipling Doriga. And to some degree, this put New Zealand in, Papua New Guinea in with a slight chance of victory, because they had got to 126 down at the beginning of the 17th over. So they were within reach and had wickets in hand and two batsmen in and scoring. But in the 17th over, Kipling Doriga was stumped. Norman Vanua then in the 18th over gloved the short ball through to the keeper, and really that was the end of the chase, even though Chad Soper tried to mount a small comeback in the 19th and 20th over. But nonetheless, Papua New Guinea were dismissed for 148. The bowlers that Scotland used were all reasonably effective, with Davey being the pick of them with his 4 for 18. So there were some momentum changes throughout the course of the game, which we have seen already, but the balance of those momentum changes favoured Scotland, which enabled them to get away with the win. So if we have a quick look at the points table, which is on the right of the screen, we'll see that in Pool A, Sri Lanka and Ireland had the top of that pool, but in Pool B that we're concentrating on at the moment, Scotland have 2 wins from 2 games, and Oman and Bangladesh both have a win each, with Papua New Guinea at the bottom of the table. There is a slight chance, but we'll talk about that later, for Papua New Guinea to qualify through to the Super 12. So that's a very quick summary of our change of momentum moments. What we'll look at now is our competition winner, Jennifer, who...
Hi John, my name is Jennifer Simbai. I'm from PNG. I would like to ask what would be the perfect score of PNG and Scotland in the coming T20 clash between PNG and Scotland.
Send us in her question, her winning question, to the Master Analyzer. And her question was, in this game, what would a perfect score look like for Papua New Guinea versus Scotland? So I thought we would answer this question first before taking a little bit more deeper analysis into the match. So on the basis of higher scores in this particular venue, the highest score, T20 score at the ground, is 210. So one would suggest that anybody that was able to score 200 plus, that would possibly be a perfect score. Papua New Guinea, batting first, has made 216. That's their highest score, and they've done that twice, albeit that was at home. Scotland have done it 3 times, and 252 is their highest score. But importantly, they had made 204 versus Bermuda in this part of the world, in Dubai. And both teams have done that relatively recently in 2019. But while still trying to establish a score to win the game, what became and becomes most important, as we saw from the points table, is the net run rate.